Hello and welcome to a special Franchise Hockey Manager episode. Uh, my name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on our screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey everybody.
And yeah, we're back with a new stream. We're gonna do some challenge mode. Challenge mode activated. Jeff, we often get talked about achievement hunting in Franchise Hockey Manager 9, so we decided we're going to tackle some of that tonight. I'll
A
start
couple
off
of
by.
things.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, go. You go ahead.
I was saying just a couple of things different with achievements this year. If you missed it before, we've taken the requirement that you not use commissioner mode to get the. You have to have commissioner mode off for the achievements to work. I think we had it before. You had to play in challenge mode.
Yeah.
That isn't necessary anymore. As some of you may know, the GameSparks, the service that OOTP was using to host the offline storage and whatnot of the of achievements shut down sometime last year, I think. So that's why you don't
Yeah.
have that login on your game screen anymore, and why it won't work on the older ones anymore. So we loosen things up a little bit, and you can just get achievements now by playing in regular mode.
Yeah. For this purpose, though, we're going to focus on historical challenges because it gives us one very specific thing for us to do and try and get. I'm also going to preface this by saying if you notice in the top left hand corner, it says we are on build 70. We are currently beta testing our new update that Jeff was hoping to maybe get out by the end of the week, but I don't know if we're
Or
quite going to get
possibly,
there.
no, it's well looking good so far. I ran into something at the end of today, not a game bug, just a production side thing that we got to get cleared up in the morning Hamburg time. So there is a possibility it could be out tomorrow,
Yeah.
but
So the big
we'll
thing
see.
is if we're playing and something happens, that's what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
So historical challenge, you can see it's an option here right on the start screen. And when you click it, it's going to load up a little box. Immediately, you're going to get a game name. We're going to type it in and put challenge as our game. And there is a bunch of them. And now Jeff spent a lot of time writing many of these
The
descriptions.
game name thing, by the way, that's just to say that's your regular save name.
Yeah.
Probably make that a little clearer
Yeah.
because it almost looks like a filter the way it's set up on there. But yeah,
Yes. Although I will say I did help Jeff come up with a lot of what the challenges are, although he made some of them way easier than I wanted them to be. But we're going to scroll down through a bunch of these.
we may do a few more of these. It won't be in the this update or the next one. The one wouldn't be coming out at Christmas, but thinking maybe one of the New Year ones. I might add a few more.
Yes. So we're going to
Or
start off with one of the probably easiest challenges in the game to do, which is the Montreal Wanderers. And so if we click on the Montreal Wanderers here, we can see it says the Wanderers' brief NHL stay ended when the Westmount Arena burned to the ground in 1918. To beat this challenge, make it to the seventh game of the 1917-18 season without your arena burning down. So we're going to click on that to start. We're going to click OK, and it's going to start loading in. Jeff, anything?
spoiler: there's no way in the game for the arena to burn down.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is a gimme.
Actually, at one point, I begged Jeff to try and figure out a way for it to actually happen, to see if there
I
would
think I
be,
started that with the event, but
yeah, to be like
it,
a 5% chance of it actually burning down, just to upset.
sooner. I mean, if we ever get it working where we can shut teams down in mid-season, I would seriously think about at least maybe having that as a sort of if you wanted some sort of hardcore historical option where they really would die off
I
after
I think it
six
would
games,
just be
7 games.
funny for it to happen just randomly in a game where your arena's burned down, you have nowhere to play, you are folding out of the league, and just be like, wait, what? Um,
And
yeah,
while it's setting up, just a little, if you're not familiar with the team, the Wanderers were actually formed before the Canadians. I think they were in '03. The Canadians were in '09. So there were two viable teams in Montreal for the first the 10 years or so before the NHL came into existence. And I think if I remember right, the Wanderers were sort of the English Canadian team, and the Canadians were the French Canadian team.
yeah, they were super
Yeah, so
popular.
that became a little bit blurrier over time. They shared an arena, the Westmount Arena, for a cup. I think it was. I think the Canadians were playing there at least as early as 1915, if I remember right. But when the thing burned down midway through the first NHL season, Wanderers went out of business, and Canadians went back playing at the Jubilee Arena. Not entirely clear why the Wanderers didn't go with them, but
Yeah, I will say at this point, I believe too, like the Wanderers colors were red and white, and I don't think
Yeah.
the Canadians were the Canadians colors red, white, and blue at this point.
They
I
had
guess
a
they had.
season where they wore blue and white.
Yeah, there's one of the earlier seasons before they were in the
But no, I think they were
NHL.
in red, white, and blue at this point because they've got
Yeah.
the tricolor logo over there.
Is it the
One other thing you
tricolor
can
logo?
see in
No,
this.
it's. Is there blue on that? Maybe.
Oh no, no, there's not. I think that is. Oh, click
Yes.
on one of the players to get the face gen version of the logo.
See, I was scared to check the face gen version. Loading this in. All right, let's see. Well, it's showing their jerseys, but
Yeah.
okay, maybe it does have some blue. All right, George Vesna, who is of course the player who, uh, you know, the Vesna Trophy is named after. So yeah, Kel the best. Hey Kim, thanks for coming out. T4, thanks for being here as well. So yeah, we'll take a quick look here at the Montreal Wanderers team. You can see we have a fairly big team when we're only dressing 14 players. And Jeff, one of the
And
new
you do.
things coming in FHM in the next update is we can see we have a player suspended already.
Oh, actually, this will be in the game if you start it now. It's this was in there right
Was
at
it?
the
Okay.
beginning, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. We've had a little help in the forum with guys for getting the historical presets file set up, but now you can see some guys who were suspended or injured at the start of a historical season, and we're gradually improving the list of all of these. It's a pretty big project. But if they will, the players, if we've got the data on them, will start suspended or injured or whatever. In this case, the guy that's suspended is George Carey, who had been, I think, sold to Montreal from the suspended Quebec Bulldogs team, who they'll show up next season in the NHL, but didn't play in the first season. He didn't want to report, so they suspended him. So he will miss this entire year.
Yeah, if you check his suspension there, the little pop up tells us he's suspended for 42 games. So.
Well, it's 2 seasons, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
First 2 seasons.
So we're going to go to our lines, and we're just going to have the assistant do this because, again, I'm going to be honest. I don't know a ton about.
You may want to set the roles first. I think it
Yeah,
should be
no.
automatically setting that, but I'm just curious if you reuse it, may change them slightly, but not much.
Okay, we got a little bit of change there
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about 1917 players. Jeff probably knows more than I do. I mean, there is names I recognize.
Yeah. I mean, the Wanderers weren't in for a good season this year. I think their best players were Harry Hyland and Dave Ritchie.
Wait. We can sign Dick Irvin and Sprague Clayhorn.
Dad.
Well, that's what I mean. I know. I didn't mean. I know who it is.
And thinking about it, maybe I should look at the.
All right, let's get Sprague Clayhorn signed because he should
You
have.
got a Clayhorn and his brother Odie.
Yeah. How do you not sign a guy named Odie? Oh, contract maximum reached. All right, we got to go let some guys go then. Let's see here. We don't need Charlie McCarthy. Let's buy out his rights. We're going to send Art Boyce down to Montreal Hochelaga.
Your starting goalie is the father of Ted Lindsay, the Red Wings Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. The more you know, huh? All right, let's look down here. All right. Greg George, we're going to buy him out. And, that resorted, Jeff.
After the buyout, yeah.
Yeah. We're also going to buy out Nick Balf. That's a name I've never heard before.
Good name, no? Balf.
Yeah.
Balf.
And I'm going to buy out this guy, Harry Manson.
No relation, as far as I know, to any of the Mansons that played in the league later.
And we'll buy out Ken Thompson. All right, now we got a little bit of flexibility here. Let's go back to free agents. So we got Sprague Clayhorn. Dick Irvin, we're going to offer a contract to. And again, we're offering these guys a whopping $2,000 to come play for us.
And I really need to check and see what the status is on some of these guys. If they maybe should be sitting out a couple of seasons in the preset file. I mean, at this point, the NHL is things are a little bit sketchy. The NHA has just died, and there's this new league, the NHL, and there's the West Coast or Pacific
Yeah.
Coast League out west. So it's
Yeah. So
and a lot of these guys are skipping seasons to go, work in a real job, basically.
yeah, we can see here. Yeah, Montreal Wanderers, Montreal Canadiens, Ottawa Senators, and the other league is the Pacific Coast Hockey Association, which has Portland, Vancouver, and Seattle. I currently have a mod installed that gives me all the minor league teams. We can see here too. Logos for them.
Well, there's probably not. Did you actually find real ones
I found many real ones, but not all real ones.
from this era? Yeah.
Yes, and some of them I had to do my best assumptions on what the logo would have looked like. The Montreal one is for sure the Montreal Hochelaga. That's what their logo was. Nelson was just a big N, and I don't think I could find one for Rockland or Rossland. The Montreal Stars looked very similar to that, but I don't think that was. I had to make up a few of them. And the Ottawa Royal Canadiens, I'm not sure if that was real. I can't remember.
The leagues and the actual the farm team relationships at this point in the game, there weren't
Yeah.
formal farm teams for the NHL. These are just various teams that
Played some part in it.
There was some traffic between the teams, and the three in BC, Rossland and Nelson, and the other one was.
Oh, hey, look at that. We popped one achievement already. Hometown discount. Signed a player born in the city your team plays in. All right.
Probably be Dick Irvine. Speaking of achievements, we're probably going to be adding a bunch more, not in this upcoming update this week, but the pre-Christmas one.
Uh-oh.
I just sent a list into Sebastian the other day to have a look through and let me know if there are any problems with the potential ideas, but we'll have some movements in there.
Well, Jeff, I think we got a problem right now.
Okay. How did you do that?
I have no idea. I can't seem to unclick it.
I've not seen that before.
Can I? All right, I'm going to black screen here for a second.
Yeah, you're going to restart that, I think. I don't know how you...
All right, so we're still here even though you're seeing a black screen. And as soon as the achievement... Okay.
This one.
All right, so let me just get that back on there. Okay, there we go.
I don't think we touched anything in the...
All right, we'll load back in here. As we said, something might have changed on our beta build. But that's why we were testing. And all right. So we can see players need to be assigned numbers. All right. We don't want to upset Dave Ritchie, so he can have number... What's a very inappropriate number for 1917? Let's give him number 92.
Weird, I can click off. I was able to click it off, no problem.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch the VOD and see exactly what sequence you did that in.
How did TKH Forces? How did you do that? Classic reaction. Yeah, well, Oh, okay. It clicked off that time. Maybe it was something to do with the achievement popping.
I got the achievement too, and I tried it, and unless you... Yeah, I've got to go back and watch it carefully.
All right, we got Odie Cleghorn signed, and we got Dick Irvin signed. So we're going to give Dick Irvin 99. All right. So our team just greatly improved, adding those three players. Excuse me. I don't think we need to worry too much about anybody else right now. Unless we want to sign Duke Keats. Do we want to sign Duke Keats? Yeah, we'll offer Duke Keats a contract.
Yeah, another all-time great player. Trying to figure out what the Cleghorn brothers were doing in 1917.
Fighting a
Because
war?
there's uh, actually a possibility. 1917.
They could have been in training or in civil defense.
I wonder. No, they would have been with that NHA team in Toronto, the 227th, I think, battalion. They
Okay.
played in the last year of the NHA.
All right.
I
Gang
don't
of
remember
Magnus
ever
is finally
hearing
get
them
around to
about
catching some
playing.
FHM9. Well, I'm glad. Last time I checked, the Leafs were up on Jersey. They did win that game, unfortunately. 3 disallowed goals, Northern
You
Sky.
Jersey fans were not happy.
Well, would you be, Jeff?
Hey, if the Canucks were getting the thing in the general area of the goal, I'd be happy.
Well, that's true enough. All right, so now we can see
Yeah.
this awesome NHL logo there was for a second. Just wondering if we can find a goalie improvement here. Top one
I
is
think so.
Red McCusker. He's only half star, though, so not looking like
You
it.
got George Ainsworth up there too, but he's
Wait. Where?
started.
Oh, right
Yep,
there.
struck by potential.
He's only 22, though, yeah.
Yeah, he's like a real late bloomer. He'll be great eventually, but
Oh, we're at contract maximum reached. All right, we're done.
he won't be as good as Bert Lindsay.
All right, let's pump some money into fans showing up before the arena burns down. Now you can see some of the old style hockey cards pop up. Although they flash really fast because this game loads very quickly when there's only, 7 teams.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, there we go. There's a storyline you don't see too often. Ottawa right wing Ernie Stavino has taken up an unusual new off-season vocation to supplement his hockey income, it was learned today. Returning to his hometown of Arnprior at the end of the season, Stavino found work as a grave digger. It's honest work, he was quoted as saying, and I think that all that shoveling will leave me a lot stronger by the end of summer. Now, we're in September, which most people would be like, hey, why hasn't the season started? Well, at this time there wasn't very much artificial ice around.
There was artificial ice though in the Westmount Arena, which was kind of the problem because it was the artificial ice plant that caught on fire and caused the thing to burn down.
Well, again, I said there wasn't a lot, Jeff, but yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, generally the team started later in the year because
Yeah.
that's when there was ice.
Yep. So we're just going to keep kind of simming through here, and we're going to have our rebuild our team to see what we look like offensively. And all right, we're still getting into November. All right, so when is our first game here if we look at our schedule? December.
Yep.
December 11th, we finally get our games, start getting our games on. All right. And our scouting report isn't really telling us anything we really need to know. Other than that, we should pick up George Hainsworth, but we're not going to be playing this game probably long enough to worry too much about that. And some of the historical challenges, I will say, you can get done very quickly, or some might take a little bit longer. Oh no, Phil Stevens has been involved in an off-ice incident. The fans and even some of his teammates are clearly displeased, and some rifts have appeared in the team. In particular, the following teammates have been made their anger apparent: Dave Ritchie, Odie Cleghorn, Dick Irvin, George Carey, Sprague Cleghorn, and Punch Broadbent. All right, Jeff, I have a question for you. When you have two brothers on your team, can a rift be between the two of them?
It's possible. Although one thing I should mention about the brothers, we really want to get that in the game to have the brothers officially designated as brothers. So I was talking with Sebastian about how to do it, and I think it's probably not going to be something we can do this year because it's going to involve some database structure changes, but I think we'll be able to get that into 10.
Okay.
And wow, 4-goal game from Dick Irvin.
Yeah, and we just lost one of our guys for 2 to 3 months. So
Better ones too.
Yeah, so he's out.
Jack McDonald had played in the West Coast, and you'll notice in the history there's a lot of players are lacking history. That's because it's the first NHL season. Some of these guys would have NHL National Hockey Association histories,
Or
which
PCHA.
aren't well, no, the PCHA ones will be in.
Oh, okay.
For the most part, it's a little. I think it's a bit spotty for the middle teens, but the I think I want to try getting the NHA histories in just so it looks a little bit better at the start of the game, so it doesn't look like all these guys have been completely inactive.
Ooh, 8-3 win, and then we lose 7-3.
Yeah, that's hockey in the.
And now, Mark's got injured. We have an option to delay treatment. We're going to delay treatment.
Just for the sake of doing it, because Marks isn't really that important, and
Exactly.
he was terrible to begin with, so it's not going to make a difference. You wouldn't normally delay treatment on something this early in the season. Well, early. I mean, it's such a short season; it may not make a huge difference.
Yeah. And we beat the Canadians 6-5.
In the rivalry game,
Again, it's only preseason hockey, but
and Joe Hall, second star, would wind up dying 2 years later in the great influenza epidemic of 1919. They had to shut down the 1919 Stanley Cup final because of that.
ooh, we lose 6-0 to Ottawa in our next game. Boy. Now Billy Bell is injured.
Almost up to the you got.
Strained foot. Well, we haven't got to regular season games yet, Jeff.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what area you're in. You're losing guys left and right. Stevens goes in maybe.
I'm just having the assistant do it because Stevens came in. So let's see. There's only 4 teams, but yet we are not named a Stanley Cup favorite. Wow.
All right, we were still in the exhibition season there.
Yep. All right, so too many active players on the roster. Oh man, we got to cut a lot of guys. All right.
Just send them down.
Working on it. To the injured list. All right, down to 17. There we go. Gotta love a shortened bench, huh? 14 guys total. And it's a 11-6 win over Toronto, which is the Arenas at this point, not the Leafs. They didn't become the Leafs until much later.
And the Arenas that the team is named after, was actually built by the same company that owned the Wanderers and built the arena that burnt down in Montreal.
Oh, interesting. The most amazing part of that whole thing to me, Toronto, when you talk about arenas, is the fact that Maple Leaf Gardens was built in a summer.
A little longer than that, wasn't it? But not by much.
No, like they literally tore it down at the end of one season and then got it built up for almost the beginning of the next season. We lost 8-5 to the Canadians.
Yeah, it was a depression. A lot of people out of work and a lot of tradesmen.
Who got injured now? Oh, Phil Stevens is injured now. We don't have anyone left to put in.
You got Marks.
Marks. Oh, yeah, he's slightly hurt. All right.
And if you had to, you could put somebody on the injured list, which wasn't really a thing at this point, but neither were strict roster limits, so.
5-3 lost to Ottawa.
The
oh, man. Tetro got injured now. What is going on? Mild hip. Okay. He's going to the injured list. Marks is going to the injured list. Billy Bell is going to the injured list. All right, we're calling up 2 forwards, I think. And I only have 1 forward to call up. Awesome. So we're going to go see who is Oh, wait, we got a guy who can play right defense and center.
Ramey Skilton, yep. Pretty good player, but I think he had gone downhill by this point.
Pretty
And you may
impressive.
want to just help the AI out a little bit here. Right click on Skilton and then change his main position.
Yeah, it just did that. Skilton. Change position to center. There we go. And we'll have AI set rules there. Okay. You can have number 8. Number 34. All right, we are 3 games in. Can we avoid some injuries? 9-1 loss to Ottawa. Not great.
Did anybody get hurt?
Not looking like it so far. Let's see. AHL. Wow, Dick Irvin is rated as the most overrated player. Hurtful. Hurtful.
And I think the trigger for this one is actually at the end of the season, even though it's saying you have to get through 7 games.
Boy, we have disruptive hostility in our room right now. All right, let's get some big points on team morale to see if that helps.
And by the way, you've stolen Dick Irvin from the military.
Well, good.
He was actually serving with the Fort Garry Horse from Winnipeg in France right now.
Back before they were a tank battalion.
Yep. And the so yeah, one of the that's one of the guys I probably wouldn't do with the new presets because I'm trying to work out a way to handle the guys who were in military service in the few of them in 1917 and 18. But it's a bigger issue during the World War II years, and the just making them suspended or injured doesn't really work that well. So
Yeah.
trying to find probably a different status for them that'll handle that type of absence a little better.
Montreal goalie Bill Laird was injured yesterday when he fell down a flight of stairs at his home. Laird reportedly suffered a dislocated shoulder along with other minor injuries and expected to be out of commission for up to a month.
Depends on his backup.
You know, it's been a long time since I wrote some of these stories, so it's nice to see them because they don't always show up in some of the newer ages. Although, who hasn't fallen down a staircase before? Oh man, we just cannot buy a win. 5-1. Good news
They're
is
falling down, at least not sober.
story doesn't say anything about that, Jeff.
It's implied.
6-5. Montreal wins. We win Game 7. Woo! Now, we got a Gordie Howe hat trick. Nice. New next achievement has popped. Perfect. And a healthy player is ready to return. I'm just going to send him down.
Chat question, Northern Sky, who writes the FHM manual? That'd be me.
Yes, and there's our historical challenge successful. And
There's something extra you needed in there?
You talking to Northern Sky?
It does trigger on 7 games. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're at 7 games. I thought it was doing it at the end of the season.
Nope.
So would you get 3 achievements out of that one?
Yeah, sounds about right. So we're going to go back to the start screen. Actually, start screen. And we're going to go back to historical challenges. And we're going to put it in challenge 2. Now, after much searching and thought about this, and there's a bunch of good ones, it's time to bring back the Brass Bonanza. Dun, 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 dun. And we got to be the Hartford Whalers here. And
You
Hartford,
got to read the
Whale.
challenge.
Hey, they only beat Vancouver once, maybe twice in a lifetime. To beat this challenge, emerged victorious from at least one Whaler Canuck game in 93-94.
Does anybody get the reference?
Anybody in our Twitch
Kinda
chat?
dated now.
Does anybody get the reference? Oh, man. Doesn't look like it, Jeff. Looks like you.
It's from Mallrats, which is, God, how long has it been now? That's 90s?
Yeah, about 30
Oh,
years.
God.
Getting close to
I
30
feel
years.
old.
Northern Sky, uh, for the auto qualify, if you turn it on, it means you won't lose the rights to the player. Basically, they'll get a contract, but they'll immediately reject it. Correct, Jeff?
Sort of. They're sort of virtually getting a contract.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you're whether we,
It's so you don't lose rights.
we're describing it, yeah.
As for the other
It's
part,
just
Jeff can
so you don't
answer
have
that.
to go around making. If you make an offer to the player, it will also trigger the RFA qualification, but that just lets you sort of do it without having to go through the trouble of the extra steps.
Yep. I should say as well, we are currently streaming on both Franchise Hockey Manager, uh, or twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager, as well as twitch.tv/OTP developments. And we are watching both chats. Now you can see right now the game appears to be hanging because it's sitting at team history at 99%, but it is still loading. It's
Yeah,
just
what's going on there is the later you pick a start year in historical, the more it has to build the entire historical database up, basically. So if you saw the Wanderers one was nearly instant because that's right at the very start of the game. This one is in '93, yeah. So there we go. And if you do if you started in 2020, it's going to take the maximum amount of time, 2021.
all right. Let's pick a random year.
Connecticut, wrong one. Hartford, New York.
I know it's the wrong one, but I just figured it would be fun to be from New York. But fine, Jeff, I'll change it just for you. No, we'll pick the date of the
Yeah, I
9th.
wonder why it doesn't put those in alphabetical order. That's an OTP quirk. You'd think it would sort by the state abbreviation. No, that wouldn't. No, that would get screwed up because there are cities in two different countries.
Dun, 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 dun.
Three Whalers. This is actually first thing to check is when
Welcome to
actually play
Hartford.
the Canucks.
All right, so we'll look first. Okay, we will look at their schedule. So when do they play the Canucks?
Watch, it won't be in the first season. Now, there. Oh no, wait. This is after. Oh no, there we go. Wednesday, December the 8th.
Oh yeah, I was looking for the wrong logo. But after that,
The good logo, you mean?
well, the Flying Skate is a
Correct
great
logo.
logo.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. Oh, they play them in February on the 6th. And that might be
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that'll probably be it. You wouldn't get
Unless
more
we
than
meet them in the
two,
playoffs,
games
which-
against them.
All right, so the Hartford
Be
team,
fine
looking at
to
it.
do. So Sean Burkengall, you're okay there. Zarly Zalapsky, arguably at the peak of his career.
Chris Pronger.
Who we've just had in the.
Yeah. Brad McCrimmon.
A lot of this is going to overlap from that the Jets game
Yeah.
we played in FHM8.
Eric Weinrich.
On.
Yeah. Michael Nylander. Pat Verbeek. Was this, did they not have Brendan Shanahan at this point? I thought they did. Or was this the year they got him?
That was, hang on, a little look.
Well, Shanahan would be on St. Louis, right, at this point?
95, 96. Yeah, he's in St. Louis now.
Okay. Well, then. All right, first things first, of course, we got to go check free agents to see if there's anybody interesting we can add. Al McKinnis is available. Well, yeah, we're going to sign him to a contract.
Where was he showing up there? He should be in Calgary.
He's shown up as a free agent.
Let me fire up our editor and see why that is.
Real stats.
They screwed something up there.
93-94, he played for the Cincinnati Cyclones. He played 75 games, it says. His career stats.
Yeah. That's I think I know what happened there.
Is that a thing? Did he play in the minors for a year?
No, he didn't play in the minors for a year. I was probably looking at something in his history, and
He grabbed the wrong information.
no, accidentally just clicked the. Yep, that's what I've done. I've got 93, 94 set as the Cincinnati Cyclones instead of the Calgary Flames.
Ah, well, then that'll get fixed for the next one. In the meantime, we will take, or for the next update. In the meantime, we'll just grab him right now since he's sitting there as a free agent. Before anybody else does.
Actually, check him. Does he have his Flames right set?
Oh.
I don't think it will the way that.
I need to be in commissioner mode to see that, won't I?
Well, I won't let you sign him if it is. What you should do.
Yeah, so I can't check because
right,
it'll destroy my chance at the challenge for this one.
Actually, I don't think that applies anymore, but
I thought it did still for this mode.
I think so, but I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah, so we're gonna leave it alone for now.
Jeff now to fix that. Yeah.
Jeff checks that. All right, so we're just taking a quick look here if there's anyone else really grabbing our attention. And the answer is not really. All right. Let's put an offer in on Rama Hemanen, who people might know from our Jets game. I had a similar thing happen in my game, Northern Sky says. In 23-24, Max Pacioretty magically showed up in my AHL team.
It's weird. I want to see who was signed by them.
He's a free agent at the end of this year, right?
Yeah, if he declined by that point.
So it's not impossible.
Oh, and I think he starts. Yeah, he does start with a preset injury.
All right, so we got Al McInnes on our team, as that's kind of awesome.
He cheated, but
I didn't cheat. He's in the free agent pool.
Not supposed to be in the free agent pool.
Well, fair enough, but that's not what it says. Okay, so if we do that, I want to look, because we have quite a bit, we need to look at our assistant coaches here. We do not have a great defensive coach, so can we find a better defensive coach on free agency? Training. Good, great, low, above average, very good. Carl McGrain?
And Ned Hoover seems pretty well balanced.
Carlton Yu isn't bad either, but I'd like to find somebody who has offensive skills. Choices. Okay, let's go with Carlton Yu. He seems. All right, so let's go back to our team staff. Doug McKinney, you're getting fired. And Carlton Yu is being assigned as our defensive coach. All right. We don't have a great offensive coach either. Should we look for a better one? Probably.
Great name, Bill Dollar.
All right. Tyler Burkholder.
Sure.
Great, very good, below average, above average, poor. Or Bob O'Milford is not great at coaching defense, but he's good at coaching offense. Yeah, that's probably the guy we need. All right, so let's go back to our team staff there. Bob O'Milford or William Dollar's getting fired. Bob O'Milford becomes our offensive coach. All right, everybody else looks okay enough. All right. Yep. All right, so I feel better about that. We don't need need to worry about a lot of scouts. Yeah, so we can see all the teams here. What does Vancouver look like at this point, just so we have an idea of our competition?
Very good. That's not a problem for you.
Kirk McLean, Kay Whitmore, Dave Babbage is there.
The Stanley Cup run year.
Right, that's when they won it, right? Oh, no. Old friend Yuri Slegger.
Much closer to winning than the Jets ever have.
Yeah, well, they also went to the Cup final when they were under 500, which tells you how ridiculous that is. Greg Adams, yeah, Jeff Courtnall, Murray Craven,
just a little bit of
Gino. So what we need to do is slash and hack Pavel Bure. So can we send people after him? I forgot Michael Pekka was a Canuck.
Yep, right to start.
Nedved, yeah. Just got to peek at their tactics and counter strats. All right, just gonna keep moving forward here. Chris Gratton got traded.
Mike Ratchie.
Awesome. Al McInnes, for some reason, is our top-selling jersey, along with Ramo Hamlin.
You just signed him.
I know, top of the league. All right, we're gonna put level 1 scouting in. Gonna pump up some team happiness. The good news is Al McInnes is going to help slow them down.
The first game December. So
oh yeah, I just got.
Yeah.
All right, please set your captains. All right. Whoa. Oh, Phil Bork. Oh, that's. I was like, wait. What? All right, so let's go captains. We have nobody set, so let's go. You want to go to info, and you want to check mental ratings. Leadership is good. What else do we want to look for?
Determination, secondary one, and may also be a good idea to look at his scouting report to see if there's anything weird about his.
I think Pronger and McInnes is pretty good 1-2 punch.
I would say so.
And then Jeff Sanderson. Yeah, I think Jeff Sanderson.
That's probably it. How old is he?
22 or 21, yeah. All right, so we're going to put Burke in net. We got Goslin as a backup. Just going to start clearing some roster space. Pronger's in. Bert. Brad McKinnon's likely in the lineup. Peterson can go down. All right, anyone with half a star is going to go down here. We don't need you. And you're just taking up roster space. Hey, Corey, will you have any relation to Nate? Or is that spelled different? I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, it's spelled the same. I don't think there's any relation there. Let me double check.
All right, down to 30 players. All right, McInnes is in, Verbeek, Zalapsky, Sanderson, Castles, Randy Cunnyworth, Nylander, Prop, Weinrich, Kron, Poulin, Hamlin's probably in. Let's take a look at our positions again here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensemen in. We have 5 left defensemen in Al McInnes. Oh, but we got a number of guys who can play right. Oh, Chris Pronger's only 18 at this point. Right.
And you made him captain.
Whatever. I'm not ripping it from him now. It'll just upset everybody if I do that. All right, so we have Jim Sadlak comes in. Gabor Petrovic. Yeah, I like that. And we'll bring in Todd Harkins. Gonna send him down.
And the Bullies are apparently unrelated. Corey is from Winnipeg, and Nathan is from Stratford, the Ontario one, not the England one.
Okay. Not Stratford upon Avon. Crazy.
No.
Who would have thunk it?
There is an Avon River in Stratford, Ontario, isn't there?
I believe there is, yes. All right, so our lines are Zalapsky, McInnes, Pronger, Weinrich, Bert McCrimmon. Actually, I kind of like those defensive pairings. Sanderson, Castles, Verbeek, Prop, Nylander, Sadlek, Kennyworth, Helmanen, Kron. That's our Jets line is our third line there. And then Poulin, Harkins, Petrovicki.
Your version of the Jets.
Well, I know. That's what I mean, right? Hoping to buy the game at Christmas and do my usual Whalers save where I prevent them from moving to Carolina.
Yeah, that's what we did with the Jets game, streaming game last year.
Yeah.
Right?
It was. Goslin's all sad about what? What's he sad about? He's isolated. And we play and lose 4-0 to Chicago to start the year. Woo! All right. Ooh, bunch of trades. Nobody important. We'll have to keep an eye out on the waiver wire to see if anybody of interest pops up. 2-2 with Detroit, so that's good. They scored twice in the first. We scored twice in the second to tie it up, and then nothing happened in overtime. Oh, well, look at that.
Hobart fighting Pronger. Ambitious for an 18-year-old. And Konstantinov.
Well, Pronger had 3 fights?
Yeah.
Our captain is setting the tone. Just beating up everyone he can. All right. Oh, wait. Who's suspended or dressed? Oh, Kennyworth got hurt. Wrist soreness. All right, so Corvier comes in. All right, and 6-3 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are not good at this point.
Yeah, still with the old logo, too.
Kim Chillin says, gotta love an 18-year-old captain who fights every period. He's balling. All right, we'll give this one to our backup. And 5-2 loss to Quebec. Helmanen and Al McInnes score. Oh, right. We're going to have the waiver draft in this one, won't we?
We will.
Guy's getting tired, but we're going to push him through on this one. 4-3 Hartford. All right, so we might be able to pick up somebody in the waiver draft too then.
Is this on all goals? Or one?
Who's hurt now? Oh, Kron got hurt. Bruised neck.
There's some sad season ticket numbers.
That's why they didn't last very long. I guess we're going to bring in McKenzie. Yeah, there's a reason why Hartford didn't last. Uh, 6-3. I do kind of miss that they took away the Connecticut Whale from the AHL.
Oh, this is the blue uniform. One of the blue uniform years for Hartford.
Yeah. Oh, Eric Weiner gets hurt? What?
Stay today.
I know. We're just racking up the injuries.
Go down.
4-3 victory over Montreal. All right. Glenn Murray is out 4 months. Top selling jerseys. None of us. Jeff Courtnall, for some reason, isn't leading number one. Jeff, how did you stack these stats? That doesn't seem right.
So, I mean, the bigger markets, the Canadian teams tend to have bigger markets for that, so they tend to do a little better, but I'm surprised Courtnall's number one. I'm wondering if he was just signed a new contract or something else.
JFB 1985 says, yeah, I'm doing a Nordique's historical save, and the waiver draft threw me for a loop. If you're not familiar with the waiver draft, then yeah, it can be a little confusing.
Keeps you from stockpiling players. Mechanically, it's basically the same as an expansion draft, only everybody takes part in it.
All right, so we want to protect McInnes, Verbeek, Burke, Castles.
Adam's going to protect 18 of his best guys, and anybody else is open to be drafted. And the way the real waiver draft would work, if you
is Frank? Wait, we are better
NHL
backup goalies in the minors?
For some reason.
All right, let's get that fixed.
But the way the real waiver draft would work, if you selected a player, you also had to take somebody off your protected list. So there'd be sort of a domino effect if a team claims somebody, and so it made teams slightly more reluctant to claim players. We haven't got that working in the game yet, but I want to get it there eventually.
Huh. All right, so let's see here. Waiver draft.
You left Nick Kyprios unprotected.
Yeah, he's not even starting for us. Top defensemen are considered Hartford's Al McInnes. All right, waiver draft time. All right, pick until human. Bro Pre went first. Wendell Young, Neil Wilkinson. Our top is Sergei Botin, who, former Winnipeg Jet.
For him.
Not.
Smith projects.
I think at this point they had brought over the former head coach of the big Russian team to be an assistant.
What do we need help with? Would Lehman be useful?
It's not going to hurt for us to have a little more depth on front.
See, he had that. Yeah, he did okay after he traded to Montreal at the end of last year, but I don't think he.
Picking up like Garth Butcher wouldn't be a bad choice either. Looking.
How did he actually do in 93, 94? Oh yeah, he kind of fell apart and spent a bunch of time in the AHL.
Nobody's crazily jumping off here.
That was 93.
So let's look.
Pretty much the beginning of the end for him.
Kevin Smith, we're going to move down.
Kind of ironic that we've got a guy named Kevin Smith for this challenge.
Yes, well, he just got sent down. I'm just trying to look. So we have 1.5 star forward, 2-star defenseman. There's nobody who's really grabbing my attention or what we need. I mean, we're not bad on forwards. What's our defensive depth chart look like? Okay, so we dropped down to 1-star defenseman. Okay, so yeah, we need another defenseman. Okay, so top defenseman left is Botin, but I don't think... Bob Wilkie?
Botin's probably a better option. You got Ken Baumgartner play D, can he?
Nope. Well, that's showing it, but he has 14 left defense. Yeah.
You'd have to develop him a little bit. I think he hadn't been doing it for a while at this point.
We'd steal a leaf then?
Not a guy you really want to have on defense anyhow.
I said Garth Butcher's the only other one who's really jumping out for name. But if you think we should take Botten off Winnipeg,
Probably your best bet.
all right. The good news is he can play both sides too. Pick until human, which means we'll fill out. So anybody else noticeable? Jean-Claude Bergeron, Mark Ashley, Gary Lehman, Nick Kyprios went to LA. Did we lose anybody else? Nope. All right. So we need to make another change here then. We need to go to our depth chart, and we got to get Frank Pietrangelo back up.
Yeah.
And send Gosselin down. Okay, so Cunnyworth can play again, so he's back in. We got to make 3 more roster cuts too, so Botten we can't move. Oh, we can move him down.
Yeah, no, that doesn't apply to the waiver draft.
But I don't really want to put him on waivers after we just got him. Who's the other one? Huda was our backup, right? So, all right, Kron. Well, let's buy a little bit of time, put Kron on injured list.
And that will be retroactive, so.
Okay, we're going to send Mert.
If you actually check the injury list, just show again how that works.
Injured since September 28th.
Yeah, and you can see the counter thing is not set at the 14 days that it normally would. It's already taken 6 days off.
Yep.
The far left column. So.
All right, so that leaves us one more guy to cut. Then I guess we cut Janssens and let Kron be the extra forward when he comes back.
Or Harkins, and because he's waiver exempt.
Ooh.
And has lower potential than Janssens.
We'll still need to cut one more person then.
Now you're 23.
I know, but we put Kron on. Who did I just put in the roster? Janssens. Yeah. Didn't have the second goalie dressed.
Yeah, you had 13 forwards.
Yeah, well, I mean, we 23 players, but we have the one player coming off injured list in a bit, so we got to make a decision on who's happening there. Hootie comes out. Weiner goes back in.
Red Fire saying hi in chat.
Red Flyers, how's it going? And we lost Mark Grieg because Anaheim picked him up. All right. Oh, there we go. Dressing room shenanigans may cost Vancouver players. Already creating
the Russians, Yuri and Nemestikov.
Huda. All right, game versus Montreal here. Ooh, Pronger's got a huge smile. All right, gonna continue this. Zoom it out and 4-3 victory over Montreal to start the year. Helminen scores to open it up. Overtime winner by Adam Burt, 26 seconds in. Tampa Bay puts Pat Jablonski on waivers. And Weiner's ready to come back. So we're going to take Huda out and replace with Weinrich. And sum it out again here, and 2-2 tie. Yes, because ties still exist at this point. We always kind of forget that.
Yep.
And
Shootout. It should be.
Throw Petrangelo in for his first game versus Grant Fuhr, and we pick up the win, 4-2. All right.
Great and second star for the Sabres.
Andrew Castles just got hurt. Sore Achilles tendon. Replace with Jensen's. Put Castle onto the injured list. That buys us a bit more time since Kron comes back. And we're going to play one more game out here, and then we're going to call it for the night, Jeff, because it's time.
Yep.
We're going to actually put Kron in, as he's the better player. Ah, there's a surprise. John Muckler's angry at people. You guys are really something, you know that? Muckler shouted at reporters. All you want to do is place blame. Why can't you focus on what we're doing that's positive? Some of our guys are putting up great numbers this season, but you never talk about that. It's just a matter of getting everyone together on the same page. But you guys make your snide remarks. Isn't going to help us with that, is it? Muckler then abruptly stepped away from the bank of microphones and stormed angrily out of the room. Seems about right.
See what you did? You beat him.
3-2. See, we should have been beating Montreal down. There we go.
And ruin their undefeated streak.
All right. What? Oh, man. Who got injured now? Cunnyworth. Oh, I forgot to switch goalies. Oh, well. 4-3 victory over for Hartford. Woo! All right. We're starting 4-0-1 to start the year. Jeff, are you going to be gone next week?
I'm going to be gone next week. I'm going to be gone the week after. Well, not totally gone. I'm going to be on vacation, so I am not hauling my whole boom mic and streaming stuff down to Florida with me, but I'll have the laptop there, so I'll still be on the forums pretty regularly, checking in and getting starting work on the Christmas update. And so you'll still see me around there. Should be more or less nightly, nightly-ish. But Adam, you'll be on your own streamer. Have you got a guest streamer coming in next week?
I don't know. I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. Someone didn't reply to the message last week, so we'll see. We'll find out. Because they weren't listening carefully enough, I don't think. All right.
He's doing it just now, so
like he's doing right now, yeah. Who knows? Now he's probably wondering, what is he talking about? Anyway, so next week we'll probably be back with some more achievement hunting. We might do something else. I'm not really sure yet. Kind of depends on a few different things. So with that, thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well. You can also find a link to, you can also find us on facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, well, it still exists at Franchise Hockey. We can also find a link to our Discord in our Twitter bio. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner-ish spot. It is there. And you'll find your way to our official forums where you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. As we said, we'll be back next week, minus Jeff, because he thinks he needs a vacation after working hard for a few years.
Only been 3 years. Thank you, COVID.
So, we'll be back doing something different. And again, if you have any questions, you know how to reach out and get a hold of us. A new update is coming with a variety of...
Yep, very soon, I think. Assuming we don't run into anything game-breaking. I'm still not sure how Adam managed to freeze himself up there, but
Oh, I'm amazing at finding things, Jeff. That's exactly. And you're getting some well wishes in the chat there, Jeff, just for you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right. So thank you very much, and we will see you all again next week.